Hello pilots and welcome to another Eve Echoes video. I'm Gromeyer and I am super excited to bring you part 3 of my Fiend series. And while I focused my build mostly on tank and defense in part 1 and 2, I decided to go with a more kite and offensive build this time around. So the first thing you'll notice right there in the top right is that the offensive DPS has shot up to a passive 1356. And keep in mind this is going to be with max medium laser skills. I've upgraded everything to 555. You'll see we're still using the C-type medium pulse lasers. And our optimal range has extended a slight amount to 16.76. Going on over into the mid slots here, you can see everything is pretty much the same. The Explorer, Narrow Scanner, the large Nosferatu, and the MK9 Disruption Field. So no real reason to change the mid slots here. I have added an extra heat sink though. I wanted to go with a little bit more DPS to kill the targets faster because I felt like help was coming in and disrupting the kill. So this will allow us to add in a little bit of extra pressure on the enemies. Sticking to the offensive theme, you can see I've switched out the defensive rigs for offensive rigs. We have 2 laser burst aerator 3s. This is for activation time increase to get it going faster. And I've even splurged and spent extra money to get the level 4 damage bonus collision rig. Really just trying to maximize the DPS as much as I can. On the engineering side, we still have our 2 auxiliary thruster 3 rigs and the polycarbon engine housing in the 3rd slot. This is pretty standard for me and I don't feel like changing these up anytime soon. Over in the nanocore, I haven't upgraded anything at all. Getting down into the lower skills, it's very expensive, so I'm putting that off for later on. So same skills for the nanocore. However, in our implants, if we go into our implants and check out, I have added a couple of GUs. Okay, so let's break it down real quick. The first one we have from the last video, it's the level 10 Energy Nosferatu. This is going to lower the range but increase the amount we drain. And now I've added a heatsink GU. And what this one does is it's going to increase the damage that you do while they're activated, but it is going to give you a 30% longer delay in order to reactivate them. So I really plan on only using my heat sinks once per fight. I should be able to kill them within 3 minutes, ideally. I still have the other heatsink GU in here that increases it passively, but I might take that out because it does decrease the amount of time that your heatsinks are active. So I'm still debating on whether I want to keep that in there or not. And the last GU that we've upgraded is to the level 10 Afterburner for the 30% velocity boost effect. So you can see we've built up to be offensive and speed tank. And I don't mind spending the extra ISK on the GUs because you don't drop them when you die and they can be used for other ships as well. So I think it was money well spent overall. So real quick before we get into the combat, let's go ahead and undock and check out our hot numbers. Alright, so we're out here in Jita, just for a little demonstration here of our activated mods. And the first thing I want to go over is our new defense. You can see it's a pathetic 50,000 extended HP and our resists are absolutely terrible. We still do have some pretty decent explosive resistance for fighting some missile battleships, but we definitely do not want to be hit by anything that has to do with tracking. Cannons, lasers, railguns, that's why we're speed tanking, so that we take no damage from them. Alright, let's check out our DPS with our heat sinks activated. Got them both turned on here and you can see now we're running with 1968. This is only going to last for about 30 seconds. But if we turn on our Dragon Chant Nanocore, let's exit out one more time, you can see we jump up to 2289. This is like having an extra heatsink on your ship, that Dragon Chant Nanocore. Now since we're in Jita, I can't actually show you the percentage boost I get from the implant, so I'm going to put this picture up here and you can see my total hot DPS is 3219. Very high and very much like on battleship level DPS. So let's activate the Afterburner real quick and see what our top speed gets up to. And back out one more time, try it. Alright, so navigation 3131 MS. This is going to be a very fast kiting ship. I love the fact that I'm using an afterburner and not a micro warp drive, so our signature radius is not going to increase, making us still hard to hit as a smaller target. And we don't have to take that 25% total capacitor hit that using a micro warp drive would cause. So that is the build. Let's take this out and let's see what we can catch. Alright, so we are up here with our offensive Kite Fiend in EXDS space, and we're going to see what we can scan down here in this system. There are a lot of things glowing here, including a lot of asteroid belts. Let's see if we can get lucky here with the first scan. One signal, could be a pause. No, it's an Orca. Beautiful. Okay, let's warp to this Orca and let's see what we can do. I'm still hunting my first Orca kill. Let's hope that this is the build and the ship to use to get it done. We have our bubble to defeat their warp stability. We have our offense to defeat their tank. And between the large NOS, the large shield booster, and our adaptive shield here, we should have enough to deal with any drones that are sent out against us or any large neutralizer. So ideally, I have built this specifically to counter everything an Orca could possibly do to me. So let's cross our fingers and let's see what we are working with once we warp in on this belt. All right, as usual, we have an empty belt here, but I know that I was on that so quick. There's no way that this guy warped away. Let's use our scan trick here. Let's approach our last scan on that Orca. Looks like he was about 22, 23 kilometers away from our spot. We'll turn on our warp disruption bubble, turn on our afterburner, and see if we can pop him out of his cloak. Yes, excellent. We got another cloaked Orca here. Let's approach. We're going to approach instead of orbit because we want to do as much damage as possible and be on a straight line with our target. We don't want to have to deal with any tracking issues with our medium lasers. So right away, you'll see me hit my approach into my optimal range and activate both of my heat sinks. We want to burst this guy's shield down as fast as possible. We don't need this ship calling for help like we had other Orcas do in the past. The other thing I wanted to mention about people saying don't use your heat sinks right away, this is because I want my weapons to fire as fast as possible. The faster they're firing, the quicker I'm charging my implant. And you can see I'm almost there. Max right now for my level 25 implant is 45% extra DPS. So right there, now that our heat sinks have completely ended, we are at our maximum possible implant DPS and we're past 50% of this Orca's shield. He hasn't fully locked us yet. But we do have that Dragon Chant Nanocore, the ability that we can break. Yep, he's locked us now. He's got the large nude on us. Let's go ahead and pop that because I don't want my capacitor being drained. Let's try and get through his shields. Once we get through his shields, his resistance is going to drop dramatically because most of these are shield tanked. So I think if we can burst down into armor, we should be pretty set. It is going to make us a little bit more vulnerable if anybody warps in on us. We aren't going to have that breaking web or breaking lock ability, but looks like we're getting down here into his armor. He's not able to rep fast enough. Oh yeah, you can see that damage increase. 4,000 hit on the armor, 3,000 hit. We are tearing him up right now. This is about the time they usually warp off, but we have our warp disruption bubble, so we know he's not going anywhere. There's no way he's going to be fast enough to get out of our range, even though we aren't webbing him. Huge chunks onto his armor here, down into hull. This is looking good. Nobody warping in on us. One of the advantages of having such high DPS is we can hopefully take this target out before anybody comes to help. So let's keep putting the pressure here. I don't want to orbit. I want to maintain my approach. I want to do as much damage as possible. His large neutralizer is not going to do very much to me because we have our large NOS. So that's kind of nullifying the effects that he's doing. We're still above 50% capacitor. He's at 50% hull. Wearing him down at time. Let's get closer so that we can loot as soon as he drops. One more hit. Yes! Finally!
We did it! We did it! We did it! We did it!
That is my first Orca kill. I am super excited. We built this specifically to handle everything an Orca could counter. We popped him out of their cloak with our trick, which, by the way, if you haven't seen that video I have on not using a cloak on your Orca, that is specifically why. And we're going to go ahead and take his loot as our prize. Large snubs in the top, that's interesting. Yeah, we got some mining drones. That is something that I do not get from coveters. All right, I am super excited. Oh, it's been so long. I've been trying to take out an Orca and I finally got it. Let's get to somewhere safe so that we can check out our loot. Not bad. Those mining drones are really expensive. About 200 million in loot. And wait, what the?
Oh my god! They killed Kenny! You bastard!
That guy killed my assault Valkyrie. That, well, okay, that kind of eats into our profits a little bit, but Now at least I do not feel bad for killing the Orca at all. I think going forward I'll just use the MK9s and instead of taking that loss. What a waste. But that's okay, we won't let it ruin our day. Let's go ahead and make sure we're in a safe spot here and open up the kill mail and check out what we got. Orca 2.7, very nice, very nice. And on to the next fight. Alright, Coveter 2. We're warping in here. I still like to take these on because it is a good kill mail value, although the loot drops aren't great on the Coveters. We still want to take our shot at getting a little bit more out of the snuggly range, if you know what I mean. Between all the chameleon losses and arbitrator 3 losses and fiend losses, I've taken quite a hit on my kill percentage ratio. It's a little side tip here. As you're warping to the anomaly, go ahead and set yourself a bookmark. And then go ahead and make it your autopilot. And that way you can just autopilot one click into a safe location, and you don't have to worry about warping to the sun or warping to a planet while you're fighting something. That's something you probably see me do in other videos, but I just wanted to highlight it here. It's a good tip to get into the habit of doing. Alright, so we are landing here on the Coveter 2. He has not warped away yet, and he is within range of our 27-kilometer bubble. Okay, so let's click that, get it turned on, and he is locked in with us. Rorschach style. We'll go ahead and approach here, do our maximum DPS, and burst him down as quick as we can. Both heat sinks activated. I'll readjust my approach just to make sure he doesn't get out of range. And this should be pretty quick with the DPS that this ship puts out. The longer the fight goes, especially when I'm approaching and getting constant hits, the more damage I'm going to be doing because of that implant charging. And you can see compared to the tank build Fiend, that Coveter just melts. So another kill to add to the list. We'll go ahead and check his loot just in case, but usually Coveters don't drop anything great. We'll pop the pod for an extra kill mark. A little bit here, a little bit there. Nothing great, okay. Let's get to our safe bookmark that we set by hitting autopilot, and we will check out the kill mail. Just in case anyone's scanning me down, I'm going to go ahead and double click into space with my afterburner on. Let's open it up here. Oh, 2.2. 2.2 is really nice. Oh, and that's why he's running the single diode strip miners. Those things are 562 million. Oh my goodness, too bad they didn't drop for us, huh? I take it back. I'm looting Coveter 2s and Coveters, every strip miner now from now on, if they're going to be holding on to those single diode strip miners. Unbelievably unlucky that we didn't get that to drop. Alright, moving on from that unfortunate loot table. We're scanning down another target. We have 2 signals here, so this is going to be a smaller ship. It's not a battleship. Prophecy, okay. I don't usually see prophecies out here in Nullsec. It could be because it's a 0.1 security system. I'm always worried when you see those drone ships that it's going to be one of those bait prophecies that have the level 45 bombard that's just waiting for you to warp in and blast you out of the sky. But we'll give it a shot here. Could be just a normal one riding away. And while normally it might be the strategy to take out the drones first, defanging it as they call, prophecies are usually going to be a little bit squishier than the battleships that I'm fighting, and I don't have a web to slow down any of the drones that are orbiting, so we're just going to focus on the bigger target and make sure that we hit all of our hits. So let's land on him here, see how close we end up. Not too bad. Our bubble is going to be about 27 kilometers, so we do want to get a little bit closer. Hopefully we can get over to him before he gets out of range. And we should be good now, as long as he didn't start his warp. But it looks like we've got him stuck. So same strategy. This is a softer target. Let's activate both heat sinks, charge up our implant as fast as we can, and burst him down among these rats. We'll maintain our orbit just so that we can stay a little bit out of damage harm's way from the rats and his drones, but he is going down faster than a cover or two here. Yeah, completely smoked. All right, good kill. I will take it, and we'll pop his capsule as well. Let's see what loot he was rocking. Not too bad. A couple blues. I'll take it. Not too shabby. Alright, as we always do, let's check out the kill mail. 408 million, not too bad. Looks like a long-range kite with a large rapid missile there. That's interesting. Alright, so the next clip I'm inserting here is a what not to do. I got lazy and I stopped scanning every single gate as I was going through space. I thought that these were just the same names that I had already seen. They were all docked up, and I went ahead and warped to this gate without scanning it down. Very lazy on my part. So don't do that. If you have a scanner, scan every single gate down, especially when there's things in local. Don't be like me. This is going to be bad. Okay, so usually one of the reasons why I'm overconfident because I do have this Dragon Chant nanocore, so I can pop out of lock and get to a gate. Unfortunately, these players were smart and they bubbled out past 100 kilometers. So there's no way, even though I approach the gate here and pop my Dragon Chant, even unlocking them, they're just going to be able to lock me back before I can get to the gate here. They got two small ships with webs, with scrams, and yeah, I go down pretty quick. I might have had a chance if I turned around and went the other way, but that succubus was there and they're probably faster than me anyway. So yeah, this is what happens when you get lazy, and I wanted to showcase it because, you know, I don't always want to just show when I win. I also make a lot of mistakes. And I also want to showcase when players do the right thing. And these guys set up a great bubble trap because it wasn't right on top of the gate. They set it out away from the gate to stop me in mid-warp, and it worked out perfectly. So kudos to these guys. Let's take our 12-hour penalty and get to the next fight. Alright, so I've purchased a spatial rift filament and I've headed back to the Kalvala region. This is a one-way ticket and you gotta find your ticket to come home, but the good thing is that nobody can see me in local, so nobody can dock up when I approach. It's kind of a double-edged sword because I have to rat the rats in order to get back, but we'll see what we can find. And we've got 3 ships here. We've got a small battlecruiser fleet teaming up. I'm feeling a little risky today. Slight debate in my head on how I'm going to approach this. I do have a little bit more time because they don't see me coming in local. My goal here is to take out the weakest ship first. It's probably going to be the Cyclone or the Tempest. I think it was a Tempest. But I do have to pay very close attention to the Guardian and which ships are going to be within its bubble. It's going to be a shield bubble Guardian, so anything outside of the shield is going to take full damage. Anything inside of the shield, all that damage is going to go straight to the Guardian. So maybe we can use that to our advantage. Okay, warp in range not too bad here. We can see they are a little bit separated. The cannon ship is at a distance, but it's too far away from us, so we're going to try and burst down that soft target first, just the regular Cyclone. And I don't want to set my disruption bubble because I don't know how long I'm going to last. I don't know if they're going to burst me real quick, and I want to be able to warp away, or at least move away and warp off if I need to. So I don't want to lock myself in yet until I know how I can handle these guys. So yeah, you can see I'm aiming at the softer target there, the regular Cyclone, but all the damage is going onto the Cyclone Guardian, so I know that he's inside that bubble. Well, normally I wouldn't mind that. This thing's going to be way too tanky for me to try and take down while there's rats hitting me and other ships hitting me from a distance. The other thing to note is that while that Shield Guardian bubble is up, he can't warp away and anybody inside the bubble can't warp away, so I don't have to set my warp disruption bubble up yet as well. And I'm not taking too much damage here, so I could be good to just switch my weapons over to this Guardian, see if we can get rid of his shield. If he reaches 0 shield, he can't activate that bubble anymore at all. So we could try and burst this down really quick, but he is repping really well. So I'll give him credit on that. We are having a hard time breaking his tank here. I think what we're going to have to do is get in close, get underneath that 7-kilometer bubble that he has going, so that any damage coming in from outside the bubble is not going to hit us or even target us. It's going to go straight into that Cyclone Guardian. So let's go ahead and orbit closer here. See if we can stay within. No, that's swinging out a little bit too wide. Let's get in a little bit closer, and it's okay if we approach, because missiles are going to hit us anyway. And now that we're inside the bubble, all damage coming from outside is going to hit that Guardian. So along with the rats, along with his teammate at range, if he's targeting me, he's going to be hitting his Cyclone Guardian as well. So that could be just enough DPS to get rid of this Guardian's bubble. Okay, right there. Guardian bubble down. Let's go ahead and switch over to the softer target because he is repping really well. Yeah, I'm just not able to get into his armor. So while he's low and while he's focusing on himself, let's readjust to our other target. I think we can take this one down faster. Let's burst him down. The shield bubble is down, which means the rats might start focusing on me. Let's pop our Dragon Chant Nanocore and make sure nothing is locking us. It'll give us an extra offensive boost too. And we are at our 45% max DPS boost from our implant. So we should be able to take this down pretty quick. Okay, nice hit there. 4,000. 3,000. Whoa, 2 hits and his shields are almost gone. 1 more hit. Very nice. Okay, let's switch back over to the Shield Guardian. He is still low on shield, so we might be able to take him out as well. I sure would like to get over to that tornado over there, but I think that the journey over is going to allow him to get too many free hits on me, and I already have a target here that's low on health. So let's try and apply the pressure. We don't want him getting his shield back up because that's going to increase his resistance. Our offensive mods are down, and we are low capacitor. We'll turn our shield back on to absorb a little bit more damage here. But I'm worried about turning the afterburner on because we are going to need the shield reps from our booster. A little bit more if we can just get into armor. I'm sure we can chunk him down real quick. Nice, nice. Working good. Take it down. We're into our own armor. 1 more shot. No! I am my own worst enemy. I forgot to activate my warp disruption bubble. We are sitting at 0% capacitor and half armor here because the rats have jumped onto us instead of the Guardian. Going into a slight panic mode here because we can't turn on our afterburner. Everything is down, no shield booster. The tornado is super far away. Okay, calm down. Let's switch it over. Let's target the enemy. There we go. There's a rat. Switch our large nos over to the rat here. We're into half hull. Oh my gosh. Just give me enough afterburner to get away. Let's pull our range here. Our speed is going to help. And that large nos is going to help a little bit, but we really need to warp off. Come on, double tap. Should have enough distance here. Let's just go to a gate. Let's go to anywhere but here. Okay. Woo! So that was my first attempt at a 1 versus 3. Plus the rats of Kalvala. Oh my goodness. Mistakes were made, but we did take 1 battlecruiser out. Almost had 2 kills, but you know what? At least we survived, and we can live to fight another day. I'm gonna need some Pepto-Bismol. I'll be right back. All right, so we were able to grind out a ticket and get out of Kalvala, heal up, come back in, and now we've scanned down a Naga 2. Now, typically I know that these go for long range to try and hit the rats from a distance. I want to say at least 100 kilometers away. So as long as we're orbiting nice and close in our optimal range of 70 kilometers, we should be able to burst him down pretty quick. Let's see where we land here. Okay, he's right next to the gate, but he's over 150 kilometers off, so we can just warp straight to the gate from here. And even though he is pretty close and could jump through, I think we'll be in good shape to just jump on him real quick, activate both heat sinks, and see if we can burst him down. Okay, so as we land, we can see where he is. Okay, about 6. Yeah, he is moving away from the gate, so we might be able to catch up to him with our fast afterburner speed. Let's target here and approach. Get off a couple good shots. Yep, you're not going anywhere. I don't have a web to slow him down. Oh, and a tornado appears. Okay, so we could have another fight. Wait a second.
What the hell is even that?
Triple tracking disruptors from this tornado. Unbelievable. I'm going to activate my nanocore here so that I can get rid of the lock. I still got the tracking disruptors on me though. I think even if we approach in a straight line, the GUs for the tracking disruptor is probably going to lower our optimal range. If I was quick enough, I could press and hold on my weapon to see what my new optimal range was, but I wasn't really thinking here. I'm just watching the Naga's health tick down. He's at half shield, so I'm thinking we're doing pretty good. And theoretically, with the approach, he is still in my optimal range. But right there, if I would have adjusted to a shorter range, I think I would have had him, but you can see the 0. 0, yeah. They've done something to me with those tracking disruptors, and now both of them are on me. Yeah, there's a chameleon. Perfect. No, that's awesome. It looks like the tornado and the Naga 2 were in the same corporation, so they were probably teaming up. The chameleon just decided to go for me instead of the Naga 2, probably because I'm a more higher value target. But man, that is disappointing. Those tracking disruptors ruined my day. Not much else I could have done except for maybe approaching a little bit closer on the Naga, but I was webbed, so I think he had me literally right where he wanted me. We'll stay here and watch the fight from a distance and see how it goes. Looks like the chameleon has jumped onto the... I want to say that's the Naga 2. Nah, it's the tornado because that's the only one that's left on the grid still. And his drones aren't even able to keep up with it, so that is a fast tornado. I actually engaged the chameleon earlier, but he did so much burst damage to me I decided to go through a gate and not fight him. But man, I was very surprised at the turn of events on that one. I thought I had a free Naga 2 kill. Anyway, let's pull up our combat log and show. We do get a reduction now. They've reduced the amount of insurance costs on these, on the Fiend and the other box ships. So it won't hurt us as bad as it did before with a 13 billion-isk killmail, but it is still going to hurt with the 1200 IP and basically a faction battleship worth of a claim to make. So that sucks to be out so quick after I had just gotten back into Kalvala, but it happens. There's really nothing to prepare you when there's no local list and people are teaming up. But good job to my opponents. They had just what they needed to deal with me. Let's rebuild once more and head out to find another fight. And we're back. I bought myself a large ticket to Kalvala. I want to go into the battleship range and see if I can get one of the faction battleships that happen to be riding out here. Hopefully I can find something solo, and there it is, a Macarial. So let's go ahead and warp in here at 100. It's probably going to be range fit and not tank fit because Macarials are a little bit softer for a faction battleship. So I'll warp in at 100 and we'll see how close we end up to our enemy here. Alright, so we are super far away from him, 192 kilometers, but that means we're past 150. So while he's going to lock us, we're going to go ahead and do our scan that we finished. And we're going to click warp one more time, see if we can get right up on top of him. It's okay if we land close, because it's going to take him time to relock, and we should be able to get out into our orbit. And if we do get caught with webs, we have that Dragon Chant nanocore. So let's warp in nice and close so that we can get that bubble and catch him off guard. By the time he realizes we're warping to us, or we're warping to him, we've got him grabbed here. Let's set our orbit. We want to orbit this ship to avoid his large weapons. He's going to have a hard time tracking us at this range with this speed. I did make a mistake there, and when I set up my bubble, I double tapped on it because I was so anxious to get it up. So it is canceling, so I want to make sure that I reactivate it as soon as possible. And hopefully he's not autopiloting out of here, and he warps off as soon as it ends. Let's get it. Click. Okay, looks like we still got him. Okay, that could have been that could have been very disappointing to have the bubble up and accidentally have clicked it twice. But let's go ahead and maintain our orbit. We want to be around 16, 17 kilometers. Stay out of his web range. A normal web is around 13.6, maybe upwards of 14.6 if they're using a predator web. So as long as we stay around 16, 17, we should be okay. He doesn't have any web bonuses on this ship. And the good thing is that we're so far away from the rats, it's not even a concern for us. Around 80 kilometers, I don't even think they're hitting me. Especially with our fast orbit of this Macario. We're going around 2,900, 3,000 ms in an orbit, so that it's going to be very impossible for him to hit us, even with large cannons. I can tell he's trying to slingshot me because my distance on my orbit goes from 19 to 21 kilometers, so we are going to want to adjust that orbit a little bit closer. Set it to about 15, just because we don't want him to slingshot us too far away from our optimal. Okay, we've got him past 50% shields. He is a shield tank ship. Almost all Macarios are shield tank. So once we get into armor, we should be chunking him a little bit better. Capacitor's looking good. We are right in our optimal for our large Nosferatu. Aren't even needed using our shield booster. So this should be good. I'm not going to activate that Dragon Chant Nanocore if I don't have to. I want to save it just in case someone else jumps in on me. And also in the back of my head, I want to say that I didn't use it in this fight, so you can't say it was an unfair advantage. So we are getting him down, out of shield. He is pretty tanky for a Macario. Usually their shield gets stripped a lot quicker than this, especially with 45% damage boost. I'm around 1900 DPS. But we are wearing him down. Yeah, you can see him start taking that armor damage when we observe. I don't want to observe for too long because it's very distracting to fight up close. I really need to see at a distance. I know a lot of people don't like it when you play at a distance, but I have to be able to see my surroundings. Okay, so far everything going according to plan. Still at 50% capacitor. Wearing him down. Huge hits into the armor now. We're definitely able to track him pretty well, even though we're going 3,000 kilometers a second, 3,000 meters a second in our orbit, because he has a large battleship. He's not going to be moving super fast. As long as I don't approach him and accidentally get into web range, I think we should be good to sit around here and just watch him slowly fade away. It's okay, little one. You don't have to fight anymore. Just close your eyes. It'll be all over soon. That's it. Take the hull damage. It's almost over. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Okay? Don't beat yourself up. Really. I planned specifically for you. It'll all be over soon. Sleep. Precious one.
Yes!
That is exactly what I was trying to build and go after. No more warping away. I got a bubble. No more calling for help. You're in Kalvala. Perfect. Let's grab our loot and see what we got here on the kill mail. Very nice. I'm a little proud of myself, I have to say. So many times I watch people with their alts and their multi-boxing, and they have their lictor set the bubble so that their battleship can hit them from 150 kilometers away. And my goal here was to do this with one ship. It's all built in. I got the speed tank, I got the survivability, and I have the DPS and the lockdown in one ship. So this is why I love the Fiend. And yeah, I'm just super excited that this theory that I'm kind of working on has worked out. So excuse my level of cheering at this player's expense. I'm sorry. Good fight. Great job. Not much you could have done in that situation. Thanks for the content. All right, now that we're safe in a hidden location, we can check out the loot. 390. Very nice. We got some angel ship debris. Very cool. Scroll up here. All around damage control. Nice. Explore narrow. Scanner. Very nice. I don't know if he was scanning or not. Let's open up the kill mail. 4 billion. Oh, that's my biggest battleship kill so far. We finally got our faction battleship. We got a Macario. after all the Macarial deaths that I suffered with my chameleon. It is about darn time that I got a little bit of Macarial revenge. So, Orca, check. Macarial, check. Taking on 3 at once, check. Feeling good. Let's get on to the next fight. Okay, got off to a late recording here because I was about to log out and something scanned me. So I canceled my log out real quick. I was 2 seconds away from logging out. We're gonna go ahead and wait here by this gate. Nothing came up on my scanner, but I haven't broken my cloak yet after passing through the gate. So let's see if anything pops up that's also been passing through. Yep, there we got a ship. Probe, okay, let's lock on. Approach. He looks like he's trying to head back to the gate here. He is getting closer. Let's go ahead and focus fire and see if we can take him out before he makes it. Boop. There we go. Another kill. I will take it. So, 2 seconds away from bedtime, and he interrupted my sleep. Let's loot the wreck real quick, see if we got any good scanning tools or anything. No, okay, just a DCU. Still take the kill. Very happy with that. That was unexpected. So maybe a little longer. All right, we've got a full-on fleet here with guardianship and everything. But you know what? I'm getting tired of Kalvala. I kind of want to get out of here, so we'll take our shot. And you never know. Maybe something epic will happen. Who knows, right? You miss 100% of the kills that you don't warp to. That's all I'm saying. So we'll give it a shot. We'll see if we can pick off a target. Maybe it'll be separated from the group like the last battlecruiser team was. And we'll see if we can jump in on him. Oh dear, they're doing one of these mazes. Okay, I'll save you guys the trouble. We're just gonna fast forward this. Alright, Quicksilver mode over. We are landing on the fleet finally after choosing random gates for 10 minutes. And unfortunately we land right on top of them. But that's okay, because one of their ships is away from the group just like we wanted. Got an Apox striker, looks like he's the looter. Let's head over here, lock onto him, and start our orbit as soon as we can. We're really going to have to burst him down because we need to get him before he gets back to his guardian bubble. Once he's inside that nightmare bubble, there's not much we're going to be able to do because I don't think we can take down a nightmare that's built to tank. So we'll turn on both heat sinks here. Still want to orbit. We don't want to approach because if we approach, we're going to be in a straight line for the other ships, and that'll just make it easier for them to hit us. So even though, yeah, he is burning back to his bubble, we do have him in armor, but we're going to start doing less damage in armor because we're EM damage, and that does not do well against armor tank ships. He's pretty squishy. We might have a shot here. And now looks like he is back with his friends here in half armor. So we didn't get him. We'll go ahead and pop our dragon roar ability, double tap into space, and maybe we can loot these boxes actually. Let's see if there's anything in these boxes that they didn't get. Maybe he panicked. No, nothing in that one. Okay. Let's check this other one. The good thing is that we're so fast and we're not going straight at the ships that they're gonna have a hard time tracking us anyway. So we kind of have the ability to just go ahead and check these loot boxes as long as we don't stop for too long. Okay, there's something. There's something. Okay, I think that's about it. Let's go ahead and double tap into space. Orbit these guys at a distance and kind of see what they do. I want them to warp off so that I have a chance to track them down. Maybe one of them will stay behind because he's AFK and I can bounce on that. But with my speed and the range that I have on these ships, I don't think they have any chance of hitting me. Even if that Raven's missiles were long range, they're probably going to be too slow to keep up. Yeah, so that one's also full health. So that's not our target, even though he is outside of the bubble. Might just be collecting the box there. So I don't want to go in tight. tell you, this is about the time where you wish you had 3 other battleships behind you to help you deal with this, but we are out here solo. So we will take whatever we can get, and these guys are doing a good job of staying close so that we can, yeah, they're going to go ahead and warp away here. Looks like we're going to drop lock. Okay, so they're taking off. None of the rats are here anymore, though, so that means that the boxes are open, so we can go ahead and check the boxes since they're gone, and maybe we'll get lucky and grab something left over. Nightmare leaving? Can I get the nightmare? Or is he just slow? Let's sneak it. No, he's just slow. Okay. I would have tried. I would have tried. Looks like they're warping to a planet or a safe spot. I don't know if they're going to log out or not, but let's go ahead and check these boxes and see if we got anything, if we get lucky. Nope, nothing in that one. Got 2 more boxes to check here. Usually these things contain some of the most valuable loot in this region, so that one's empty. So I must have just caught up to them right when they finished looting. Got 1 more box to check. Let's see. Fingers crossed. I think it's funny 4 ships just ran away from a little cruiser. Alright, okay, so no loot really, but that's okay. Let's see if we can scan these guys down, and maybe they're in the process of logging out and we can catch them off guard. See if they left anyone behind. Okay, there's our fleet. Let's go ahead and warp in. About 100. Let's see what they're doing. I can always warp to them again if they're away from that location. I don't know if they just went to another anomaly or went to a gate or what. It's probably just in a safe spot because I saw him go towards a planet. So let's check it out. Don't try this at home, kids. This is foolish. But yeah, like I said, I'm a little bit bored of Kalvala now. I'm bored of being stuck in here and ratting these rats that take half an hour to do 1 anomaly. So I'm gonna take my chance here. Okay, they're still kind of huddled together, but I'm wondering if I can get in tight at around 26 kilometers. Maybe when they try to warp off again, I can grab one of them, and then they won't have enough time to warp back before I take it out. That's my plan. For now, I think I'll orbit at 100, kind of check them out, see where they're going, what they do. They are just sitting there. It could be possible they're logging out. I want to put my large NOS on the target here. I don't know if it's gonna increase his combat timer or make it so he can't log out, but if I just do it to 1 ship, it's possible that if all 4 are logging out, like if it's a multi-boxer, I might be able to keep 1 logged in and take him out. So let's just wait it out real quick. Okay, nope, they're gonna warp away again. Let's see where they're going. To a planet. Okay, let's go ahead and hit that planet. I'll warp in at about 50-ish. Yeah, 43 is fine. Usually people either warp to a planet at 0 or 100. So I figured if I warp in halfway, it should be pretty safe. Alright, fleet's still here. Looks like they're trying to do a safe log. Oh my gosh, I landed right on top of them. Okay. Looks like some people do warp in at 50. Let's double tap here, turn on our afterburner, and get us some distance before they lock on. I will try and do that trick though. I will try and just edge somebody out with my bubble. They have warped off twice, so I'm hopeful that they'll warp off 1 more time. Oh, that's a huge chunk. Oh, that's a nice hit on me. Is that because I was going straight? Okay, am I in orbit now? Why am I still getting hit? Oh no, I wonder if that Raven has the... Oh my gosh! Warp away! Dragon Core! Warp away! Well, I think we all just found out what happens when you fuck around. Or whatever the saying is. If I had to guess, I would say that Raven Striker activated his precision missiles, and my speed put me... My distance probably put me right into large rapid range. Overall, though, I had a ton of fun with this build. It's pretty much high risk, high reward. You do a lot of offense, but you go down real quick, so you have to be very careful with the range that you're fighting at. Still a lot of room to upgrade it, but for now, I think I need to take a break and farm a little bit in PvE. Until then, see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video.